So high, I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times, don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind.
Good evening, folks. As promised, we restarted the computer, got a few other system things taken care of. Hopefully that will improve a little bit the stream. We'll see. But we're going to take on flight number 2 today. No, it's not Saba Island to Bartholomew to St. Martin. How about Taipei, Taiwan to Clark International on the Philippines? MD-11 travels. I hope you enjoy them, folks. Might be our last flight of the night. We'll see. I really wanted this to continue after the last flight, but it was just, there was no way. There were things I didn't know that would help if I wait just a bit. So I'm hoping that patience pays off and a lot of you come back. We had a great stream earlier. You'll be able to catch it on YouTube tomorrow, from Sapalo up to Kubai. And that was a fun run. Great stream. And hope y'all got a chance to either see it, be a part of it, or catch it tomorrow on YouTube when it's slated to release. Today it's Eve Cargo out of Taipei. Actually, the airport is Taoyuan International in Taiwan. Again, used to be called Taipei International. They changed it to the name of the city. Only they know the reasoning behind that. But, well, so does Wiki. If you want to believe and go to Wiki, you got that too. But Clark International, many veterans may know this airport if you've been out in the Far East. I'm thinking prior 2000, 2005, no later than 2010 when the pullout happened. Whenever that happened, Clark Air Base, as it was known, big for Vietnam, and several other events that went on over there. So, always love flying into it. So we'll see what we got. It's been a while since we've been in, actually. But it's one of those like Concongas that I just love flying in. Santos Dumont. You know, they're not overly tricky approaches, but they do, you know, challenge you a little bit. And I like that than your standard ILS. You know, get on it 150 miles out and just kind of fly it in. It's what it seems like in LA, at least. It's not that far, but you all that know the 2.5s, you know that ILS stretches out, and you're actually not on the localizer that far out. You're tracking the VOR. But anyway, that's not where we are. We're in Taiwan. We're ready to go with the MD-11. Currently, ground power chocks, and the staircase is up to the plane. Hang on, we'll give you a little better look at her. And we're going to get in here. We're going to talk through this plane. You can kind of look at it as a tutorial, folks. Now, I'm not going to explain each and every step, although I somehow end up doing that. We're trying not to today. We're trying to get the plane in the air, get it over there, and enjoy the time together. All right, so here we go. First off, let's bring in Sim Toolkit. We're going to do this all from outside the plane like you most likely would do on site. However, I have been in cockpits where this went on board. Okay, so you can see the route. And yes, today this aircraft is in the boneyard. All right, so Sim Toolkit. I'm just going to go right here. 0 packs. Holy mackerel. Well, it's about time. All right. We're going to run with a payload of 134,767 pounds. The ramp's crew is going to uplift us 45,099 pounds of fuel. And we're going to turn and burn for the Philippines. You see the route down there. We'll put her up here on the chat room for you. And see what we can do. Cost index today of 90 and 36,000 feet. Weather here in Taipei is a little bit on the marginal side, although we may have seen... No, we haven't had an update yet. Or have we? Hang on. You know, you love that when you look at it the first time and then it went, wait a minute, did we? No, it's 42 minutes old. Winds are out of the south at 7 or 6, variable. You see that. We got a few clouds hanging around at 1200, but I'm assuming Hawker 125's been flying around here again because the sky's broken again. 1,600 feet. Gonna have to fix it on the takeoff. But anyway, just kidding, folks. Great guy, Hawker 125. Hope he's out there. This is one of his planes he requested for me. Speaking of which, who has joined in? Okay. So, but anyway, we do have a ceiling at 1,600. We'll bust through that pretty quick on up to 30. Where did we say we're going? 36,000. Never good when the pilot doesn't remember how high they're going. Over there in the Philippines, northwest wind, 2 knots. Let's just call it calm. We're going to land runway 2. There's a few clouds at 2,000, nothing for us to worry about. However, when these two numbers get this close together, with this light of a wind, we could see some fog. Hopefully the sun's up and that's going to change things. We'll see. Nothing significant right now. We'll see how the flight transpires. Other than that, I'm going to get us on VATSIM real quick. I said real quick. Hello. Oh, you're over here. Third. Why'd you go over there, I wonder? We'll go ahead, pull Sim Toolkit while I'm doing this. Let you all get a look at the MD-11. Oh, let's see. There we go. There we got RVR there, and you know what? Hang on. I'm just going to change that. All right. And I think we have this set up and ready to go. Yep, we got our arrivals in place, so we'll go ahead, file it. Hopefully, oh yeah, we should be okay with that. All right, so the file is in. We'll get the connect going. Eva 5. Actually, I'm going to look up and see MD-1. Okay. Oh, dang it. Hang on. There we go. Surprised it didn't go. That's wrong. The way VATSIM's been lately. All right. And what was that one thing I wanted to check real quick? Hopefully it comes back. Otherwise, it wasn't all that important. And we're ready to turn and burn, I would say. All right, again, here you go. So again, we're not doing this as an all-out tutorial. Y'all can read and fly the tutorial flight and the tutorial checklist. Pretty well is hand in hand, and amend it if you don't want to fly those numbers. Okay, so the MD-11's on the ground. We're ready to load up, so let's head into the cockpit. All right, now with the late updates, we now have an EFB in this plane. When it first came out, you got it this way. That was your aircraft menu. Pretty much the same on this EFB, except we got fails. I forgot what. Oh, manuals, charts, maps, which I kind of like. Hang on. There we go. And airports, route, you know, the standard stuff we usually see from our friends at AvTab. are here. All right, so first thing I do, come in, click this button right here, turns this on. That's the little power button, caddy corner from Save Options. That'll turn the gizmo on. Go through, make sure it's set the way you want. It will stay so long as you hit Save Options. Now, you can choose how you want your IRS to align, but that's up to you. You can also choose how you want this plane to come up, cold and dark and so forth. We always click, me personally, powered or parked with external power on. Okay, that's just the way I do. I know some, it has to have to be faithful. It is cold and it's dark. And if you look at the temperature gauges in there, it is super cold in that plane. No, just kidding. I'm not. I can go skip two steps. That's all you're skipping. Turning the battery on, checking the engine APU, which, by the way, we're still going to do, and then select GPU, and when it is available, click on. So it's not like you're really missing out on a lot of things, folks. And most pilots don't even get the aircraft cold and dark. They're in flux, getting ready in between flights and going. Interesting video out there. A day in the life of a Delta aircraft. 6 flights, I think it boiled down to, including Cancun and back up. Now, the aircraft way out of balance on duty hours, but it's an airplane. The pilots, obviously, there was more than one crew. So that's why these aircraft are usually in a turnaround. APU may be on, well, if it's on, somebody's got to be in the cockpit. So usually they shut it down, leave it on external power, batteries off. So in case the external power goes kaploop, they're not draining the batteries. Makes sense, doesn't it? Pretty, they're not, Napa's not right there on the airport. Boy, dog just barked for some reason, huh? All right, so let's do it, folks. Enough chit-chat, time to get to work. I want that one. And again, we said, okay, so here's how we do this. We're going to fill in the payload, the fuel, trip fuel, look down here, see how things are. Then we'll come back up and we'll deal with the payload because we got to make the takeoff CG at a certain number. I have not heard from anybody anywhere telling me the requirement for the CG on the takeoff CG has changed, even with the passenger plane. Gets a little rough, but it's, from what I understand, still in play with this plane. I haven't gone out to go see if I can break it yet. All right, so our payload will be 134767, period. All right, now our estimated zero fuel weight, we want it to be as close to 380. Wow, that just about nailed it. Holy mackerel. I mean, it's only off by 62 pounds. Holy, that's actually pretty good, folks. Wow. Good job there, whoever did that. All right. Block fuel, 45,099 pounds, 45099. Taxi fuel. Now, I already know this because I've been around this plane too much. It's 2,000 pounds, but I'm verifying, and it is. How do you verify? Just go to your flight plan that's in SimBrief. Go to the planning fuel area, and you will find your taxi fuel. 500 for 737, 2,000, 1,000. 767 and 2004, 747 and 777 and MD-11. These are the planes I've flown. As you can tell, too much to be able to tell you those numbers off the top of my head. 2, 5, 3, 6, and a 0. Now, why do we fill this in? Well, I didn't let you see it. It won't give you a landing weight without this. And folks, I'm going to take a quick break. My granddaughter and wife are heading over to Mom's house to wait on Mom to come home from work. Stand by. All right, sorry for that delay. So, if I remember right, we were talking about trip fuel. So if you don't put this in, folks, you won't get this. It's findable on your fuel sheet. Now, this is one of those quirks. I don't know if the real one flew under these guidelines or not. Takeoff CG. Oh, catching my breath here real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Takeoff CG has to be between 31%. Again, rotate requires us to have it between 30 and 31%. How do we do that? Right here. Move the slider till you get where you want it. I try to go 30.5, split the hair, but you could go 30, you could go 31. But that's in the checklist, that's on the tutorial flight that are instructions that come with the plane. All of that's in place for you. Whether or not it's in play on the passenger plane, no documentation says otherwise. The tutorial flight for this aircraft, the freighter, is the same for the passenger. And that I wish was different. Okay, so let's continue on. So we've got the aircraft now loaded. One last step that I do, I click Apply Load Configuration to Aircraft and FMC. You'll see where this comes in. I click it and go. Ground ops. Okay, now I put the stairs already in. If you do what I did, aircraft, well, let me just show you. If you do this one, parked with external power, you'll already have the ground power and the chock set. So I just click stairs, opened. It's not technically the cockpit door. Oh, it's technically in this situation cockpit forward, but it's L1. unless you use R1 on the other side. And there are times when they do that. Don't get me wrong. Then I just go through, I leave the main door closed. I'll show you why here in a minute, and then open up our cargo doors. No requirement. And I turned the lights on because it was kind of dark when we started. All right, so let's request fuel. So it's now loading that 45,099 pounds. So whatever you put here, that's what's going in the tanks. Now let's click load. And this is one of those little, it's a cool thing, but it's irritating to me. And I'll explain, it's an irritant, and I don't think I will win the battle of them fixing it. We'll show you. But great here. Great animation. Love it. Wish we had a little more of it. I'll show you. Like more cans. But then you got to get into, well, how much is this can? How much is that can? And those two behind. Now, we'll let these two load. I think, as I said with Tolus, I will say here as well. Now, there's more work these guys need to do than Tolus. But could you guys please put a person in these seats? That's just a little thing. Tolus especially. I mean, let's be honest. Maybe that's why they don't hit as much things as the other ones do, the AI vehicles. Because they actually do have bodies in the seats. So, all right. Again, I like the animation. All of this is great. Here's where I think it falls short. And I will show you here as soon as it gets up there. It's not worth waiting and waiting and waiting. Well, we have been waiting and waiting and waiting. All right. I'm going to do it this way. Now you can see the cans already in the bay. And again, it's an irritant to me. I wish they would fix it, or I don't know really a good answer for or. It's their product, so they can do as they please. Okay, now we're in the cockpit or in the bay. Doors closed, locking, and I think it's as soon as boom, they disappear. Disappointment, big time. Big time disappointment. And I don't know. To me, if you're going to show them in the bay, keep them in the bay. Would it be nice to see the whole plane loaded properly? Yes. What's that load look like? Well, go to Captain Sim and FSX and A Century of Flight, and you can see how the 727 and aircraft were loaded, where you set the weights for all the cans, hit load, and they loaded. Takes a little longer. I get it. So, again, an irritant, but that's one thing that I've noticed that is to me, a problem. To you all, hey, at least they got the animation outside. I mean, we can look at it that way. More than welcome to. All right, so enough on that. So that's how you load this aircraft. Now, you can go in here. Now, sometimes, I think they've already been by or maybe on their way. You might see the fuel truck pull up along the wing while it's refueling. But here's your telltale. I said 40 what? Hang on. 45. I think we're okay. 45. 0.099 times, or correction, divided by 3. Okay, we're loaded. For some reason, my mind wasn't doing the arithmetic correctly. All right, so finish up cockpit prep. Okay, so lighting, weather radar is off, fuel controls are off, chocks are in, spoilers up, and we can check that. We'll talk about the spoilers and dial a flap. Just remember 1-800 dial a flap. No, just kidding. That cracks me up about McDonnell Douglas. Not rotate, McDonnell Douglas. That's hilarious. Oh, Lord. We'll get to that later. Rudder aileron set. Overhead verify fuel dumps are closed. Emergency power off. Okay, here we go. Battery is on. Again, as I say in all aircraft, if there is a guard, close it after doing it. What that does is make it 2 clicks for you to disable it, enable it, depending what it needs to be. Okay, make sure you close the guards. Batteries on. This works on the Airbus principle of a dark panel, meaning you shouldn't see anything lit up when it's time to go. If it is, like down here, now it's not. See what I'm saying? Logo on, off, stays, you know, that's some of the exceptions, but overall, that's pretty much how it works here. So you're also seeing it pretty close to an Airbus look to it. That's why if you've ever heard me talking with Hawker, I affectionately call this plane an Airbus 11.
Engine 1 fire. Engine 2 fire. Engine 3 fire.
All right, so that all worked. Now you can start the APU here, or you can start it right here. Okay, either way works fine. And it'll just flash, 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 flash until it finally fires up. I don't know if we can hear it yet or not. I am really getting tempted, folks, to get the sounds that are out there for this plane. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, so the APU is firing up an annunciator test. Now, I'm going to start getting less and less wordy here, doing more and more on the panel for you to follow. Reason I want to zero in on this, it took me a long time to find it. Believe it or not. Looking at the charts, I couldn't find this button. It's right here, folks. I mean, if it was a snake, it would have killed me 1,000 times. It is right here. All you got to do is click on it. And then if you've got the panels, you know, your lights or your keyboard set up, you can check all your light bulbs that way. And when you let go, it will stop, or it should. Cockpit lighting, we've already adjusted. Let's see, APU is now on, so we can click the APU air. And then we'll watch packs start to come on automatically. Airbuses, if you're not familiar, folks, pretty much automatically do things. Okay, it's not wanting to do much. Okay, we're starting to see, there they go. It just takes time. So be patient, which I'm not. All right, now it is time for the IRS. Now I'm showing the cargo fire as well because, and I do not know if this happens in the real world, but it does here. I'm not sure why, but it does. The two have no connection whatsoever. The only bad thing is you don't know if it's in alignment or not. But again, don't know the system, don't think it's fully implemented here. But again, maybe it is. I don't know. So hard to tell here, folks. But we are aligning. Emergency power switch to arm. Now, let's do the initial alignments here. Okay, you can see we're in a line on both. FMC. Okay, make sure MD-11 freighter, CF engines, and then the big one active October 3 to 31 October 24. So you want to make sure your databases are up to date. As of right now, I do not remember how to map NavGraphs updater so that when we do the update come 31, it puts the stuff in it automatically. Totally forgotten how to do that. So, bummer for me, I know. All right, so we'll go to the init page. By the way, anyone happen to notice how familiar this gauge looks? This FMC McDo looks? Yeah, again, Airbus 11. Is that right? RCTP. Oh, I thought so. Got it backwards. Alternate today. RPLL. Now, technically, you don't have to if you're following the checklist word for word. All you have to do here is the aircraft status, init, get your company route or your departure arrival separated by a /, and do your initialize. That's pretty much it, folks. I don't think can set that here, so I'm not going to worry too much. But I'll go ahead, put EVA. It saves a couple steps coming up. I'll save this and this. We'll come back to it. It's not far down the road. Now we have a hydraulic test to do. Again, remember, if you open a guard, close it behind you. And click the button and it will test. See, now it takes 2 clicks to make it happen. Oh, I got the hiccup, sorry. And now it's doing a hydraulic test, making sure good hydraulics, all your systems work. Built-in upper limit, lower limits, warnings, all of that checked here. We don't really do much here. I just like to make sure it runs. All right, and now they're going to start falling off. They'll trigger the warning, the yellow, and then when it gets down low enough to 3,000, we'll start dropping. The big thing, though, we're looking for is 5.3 gallons in the system 3 capacity, and I'm going to assume, I hate doing that with these planes. I'll explain why in a second. 1, 2, 3. Problem is the IRSs are 1, 2, and 3. So it's either this one or this one. So I just make sure they're all above 5.3. They're all coming down, test complete. Okay. Now the other fun part of flight factor and rotate. All right, let me bring this up and then we're going to really pick the pace up. I promise. All right, so I brought in my X-Pilot. This is what we use to connect to VATSIM. Okay. Or I use, let's put it that way. Okay. Now, as you look at it, you can see 1895. Well, we already know that's wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and set it 122,800. Click. Over here, 121,500. New requirement by VATSIM that we monitor guard. All right, now, if you look up at the top here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see my cursor on it or not. All right, well, you can see mode C is incorrect, but you can see disconnect is good. 122.8 transmit is highlighted. Step 1, great, but RX is not. First off, click VHF1, that will turn it on. You're not done yet. Turn it up. If you don't, you may not hear the controller. Same thing for VHF2. Now you're monitoring. What that monitoring means, I have no idea. We're not here to discuss it. But we are in the near future, if not now, to monitor 121.5. I'm not going there. I really want to, but I'm not. So now you've got your frequencies set up, transmit, receive, lit up, receive, lit up on COM2. However, you notice mode C is not green. If that's not green, your controller is not in a happy place. They have to see green. Otherwise, they don't know what to do but to argue with you that you're not in altitude or mode C. That's the two words they could use. It's very simple, folks. First off, set your squawk 2000 if you're IFR. Click it 1. This case is X-Bounder. He's in his happy spot. Green, the controller's happy. Not lit, controller gonna argue with you. And that's the sad state of affairs today. All right, like I said, that's all I'm spending on it. I'm not here to debate VATSIM rules. We're just blasting on. Okay, so with the comms set, now we can go to the glare shield. What is the glare shield? It's this panel right here. Now, what I'll do is bring it over here. Why? Because inches or HP selected. You know, this took me forever to find also. It was right here the whole time. HP being, you know, the 4 digits without a dot, inches, which is what we in America are used to, that way. And you can go ahead and set your pressure. Here it is 1013. So go to HP And we're on 1013, so we're good. By the way, we just aligned. We'll do the same in the other one. It should possibly have followed. No, it did not. So click inches, and now you see 1013. All right, next up on the list is minimums. That is this line right here, controlled right here. You can do radar altitude or baro. Baro being whatever this is your minimum, meaning if you want 200 feet, well, you'd set 200 feet above airport elevation, or just simply do radar of it. We're actually going to go to 4. Compliant with the aim. And again, we're going to look over here if I can get my fingers to quit pushing buttons. And we can set it here as well. I'm going to leave it at 200. I'm not going to do much flying over there. I know, my fingers keep touching the wrong buttons. The ND heading mag, make sure it's set right, and it is. And your bank angle. There's a little, let me see if we can zoom. See that little caret right in there, folks, where it says auto? That's where you want it. And then we're going to move on and set up the McDo now. Okay, so we are needing on this page still the cruise altitude, temperature, winds, cost index. Okay, some of this is guessing. I'm going to warn you ahead of time. So 360 for our altitude. Remember, I filled in some of this. You'd be putting your alternate and your flight number in as well. And again, a real MD-11 pilot, if one exists out there in Twitch, I would love to know why we put these in here, because they sure don't seem to do anything. I'm just rotate, sorry. They don't seem to work. And they may not work at all in rotate like maybe they do in the real planes. I don't know. Temperature, wait till you see the headwind coming up, folks. Hang on. Not yet. Not this one. All right, so our winds. Average wind is 0.42 at 8. It's a plus. So we're actually getting a tailwind here. So let's put TL and the number 6 as our, oh wait, clear. We need a temperature first. That is also not very easy to obtain. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Hang on, folks. All right, let me try this again. Where the heck is my flight plan? Nope. Here it is. Oh, blind was staring me down again, just like those two buttons. So again, we're just guessing, folks. If you go to your sim brief, wind information, top of climb, we know 36,000, no step climbs in this equation. So whatever you can kind of figure out, minus 46, we're up to 47 here, down to 46, up, looks like 46 wins. So we will put -46 diagonal TL06. Boom. and 90 for the cost index. I'm hoping that is correct. That's the way I kind of see it. Right or wrong, that's kind of how I've done it. Next up will be, okay, to our flight plan page. Oh wait, back that up, back the truck up. Go to page 2. Now we just need to make sure all of this is filled in. Now, had you not clicked, hang on, let me just pull it down here. Had not clicked apply load configuration to aircraft and FMC, that's perfectly fine, folks. The aircraft will load when you put the cans in, and you'll have to make sure all of these numbers are right, either by clicking on them or typing in them and clicking on them. Okay, so that's why I do it. Just does try to help speed things up, except when you're explaining everything. Okay, so the weights are good. Go to the F plan page. Not the F-bomb page, the F plan page. All right, now I am going to bring charts in because we do have a few items to attend to here. All right, first and foremost, our departure. SID. By the way, is anyone going, oh my God, this really is an Airbus? Yeah. Built at about the same time the 300 and 310s came out. Okay, so we're choosing, let me double check, 2-3 right. I did choose correctly. Oh, no. 2-3 right, change. Uh, 10. Okay, same departure, I believe. All right, click here first, and it should narrow your choices down. There's ours. TINHO 1 Delta. I do not see any transitions because it probably is because TINHO is the end. Like Europe, a lot of the SID stars, they name them after where they end instead of transitions to them. Right or wrong, you know, better or worse, I don't know. That's how they do it. All right, so here's our departure. So from 2-3 right, which is right behind us, we're going to be basically turning out to decoy, Octon, and then out to TINHO. Now, usually I have the route up there so I can see it. Not worrying about it today. I'm just going to go through, verify off my charts. Okay, map-wise, Totem, Pepu, Titus, Fopen, okay, Wagon, Chicky, Donna, Tackle, Jid, Donna, Tackle, Jid, K, PQ, and then we're into Manila airspace with POTIB. All right, so we need Abvar, Chris, Cabho, Abvar, Chris, Abho, Lau, Kerman, and Kinla. And I can already tell we're getting close. Milan, SANRO, and MALIB. Okay, that went pretty good. There's our next discontinuity. Now we're doing the star. Ah, here we go. I'm like, we got to get down to Shermo. I know that much. All right, so we'll do that. I just didn't have it in my list below. All right, so we go to Naubel, Shermo, and in. So we need the MALIB. All right, what's the difference? 5,000. Okay, we're doing the MALIB 7R. Just checking my flight plan real quick. MALIB 7R. ILS runway 2. Insert. Hopefully I did it right. All right. So what we're doing, I don't think I did. So we got the SERMO. We need to get to the VOR CIA. Oh, wait, I think it's there. All right, now, if you bear with me. So basically, we're going to go Sherman or Shermo to CIA, and then CIA on track C and D, which is CIA 2, and come back in. Okay, that's what we're doing. Bear with me here. I really want to make sure we're right here. Plan. All right. So, Naval, SERMO into CIA. That's what I wanted to make sure. Now, I want to make sure we're going to head out. Okay, we're hoping for the best here, folks. Holy mackerel. And then here's our run to the... holy mackerel. I hope this is what it's supposed to... This is where the runway is. Okay, we're going to leave it as is. Hope for the best. All right, so yeah, we're going to have another flight like last or the day before. All right, well, you know, that's how it goes sometimes, folks. We'll figure these on the way. What the heck? That is weird. Okay, well, hopefully it works out like it's supposed to. Okay, Yeah, that is super weird. Okay, next up will be the, let's get back down in here. Takeoff approach page. Now, this is where I recommend go to Sim Toolkit. I'm sorry, correction, Sim Brief. Takeoff prediction. It's got all of your information on this. Now, if you want to do the one with the map, the performance takeoff on the left side, be my guest. I'm not. Just letting you know. Okay, full flex, bleeds auto, anti-ice auto. Go. All right, so we're coming up with 135, 152, 1. Okay, so that all looks good. Here's how we fill it in. All right, our flex or standard select temperature is 60. Pretty much every flight has been this. Packs on. Oop, wrong O. Yeah, no, that's kind of irritating. Slope. You can get this from Sim Toolkit. You can also get it from JEP. I just don't know where. Let's go 0.1 down. Slash. Now here, was it here? Somewhere we had a headwind of like 200. I can't remember where. Okay, winds. Headwind -5. So we'll put HD05. Boink. Okay, outside air temperature. All of this, for the most part, minus the slope, you can get off your Sim Brief takeoff performance. 26. Flap. Now we're calling flap 15. And now we're going to get the numbers. Now my numbers actually are pretty close. V1, 135 is what SimBrief came up. These numbers, 136. Rotate at 152. I'm going to go with these. Okay, it just seems to work out the best. And that's it, folks. We're set. Now all we got to do is the FCP, and we're ready to go. All right, so all right, speed 250, heading, runway, heading. Again, you can grab that real quick off your chart. 54. What? Oh, really? Hang on. It has us on 5 right, folks. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. Now that all made sense. And controller or no controller? No controller. 36,000 feet. Okay, that takes care of the FCP. Now we got to take care of what we see on the nav displays. We definitely want to know traffic. We definitely want to know data, which is like your constraints on an Airbus. Data is a Boeing term. VOR1, VOR2, VOR1, VOR2. Um, okay, weather off. And folks, that brings us to engine start. Hallelujah. A lot of little, what the heck is that, you know, but we're ready to go. Hang on. Do I have that started? No, I don't. Starting my ACARS program. Then we'll close up the aircraft. And it says we are connected. And it shows on the map. Cool. All right, let's do it, folks. It is Eva, actually called Eva on radio. I think it is Eva. Okay. All right, so let's head over here, close everything up. Bing, bang, boom. Come back. We're on APU. We're off the external power. I'm going to have to close up the window, so give me a couple of seconds here, folks. Be right back. All right, that is much better. Hey, Matt 1997. Did my phone die? Not yet, but it's close. Any better luck? All right. Sorry, folks. Had to get some stuff out of my eyeballs. All right. So let's get the stair set away and close up. We're ready to go. Hope you all are. Just take a little drive around the airplane. Okay, just the chocks. Okay, let's call better pushback and get ready to go.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
All right, so we're going to... There must be a cloud layer right at that level.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Now, there is a pushback built in. I don't know if you can do all the neat little tricks we can with this. All right, so let's go for engine start. Y'all good for that? Hang on a second. Parking brake on. Chocks removed. Seat belts on.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Beacon on. Emergency lights arm. Switch armed. Doors, windows closed, fuel panel, air panel on. We've got the pushback here. Let's go for, wait a minute. Auxiliary pump on. And let's go to engine. And let's get ready to push.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, now I have had a lot of problems, so I just release it this way.
Starting pushback.
And I make sure we start moving. Okay, now we're ready to start engines. Okay, transponder is on exponder. Engine ignition. Let's do B this time. A or B, pick your poison. APU air is on. Startup, they say number 2 first, then number 1, then number... let me try that again. Scratch all of that. Number 3 first, then number 1, then number 2. Oh. We're waiting for it to get to the blue-green line. Fuel's on. And now we just wait, watching it stabilize, watch our engine numbers going up. By the way, if you didn't know, your APU can be monitored right here. Okay, it looks like we're stable, so I'm going to go ahead and kick over number 1.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, we still got the middle engine to fire up. But I hope that all helped you, and I know I talked my way through when I said I wouldn't. But, you know, consider this a tutorial. One of these days, hopefully, we'll just fire up and go.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
All right, thanks for the great pushback as always, and the fact that it's free is even better. Have a great day. We'll see you next time, and thanks for the better pushback. It really is, folks. Some of the pushbacks we have to do, if you saw midway, we came back and we had to come up to a spot line. There's our pins. All right. Better pushback for sure. You can make it go wherever you need it to. That's what I like about it. Okay, windshield defog on. Anti-ice, we're not going to need it. APU off. We'll see if that turns it off. I always forget. Engine packs are all on. Ground equipment's clear. Down to here. Let's put up config. Okay, and then we'll do engine. However, I want to verify flight controls. Okay. All right. The other thing you can do from this one, or you can go to engine, is your stab trim. That is showing here as 4.8. So just set stab A and U to 4.8. Okay. Back to engines. And verify takeoff 6. Okay, we verified and set. Cabin reports received, takeoff data confirm. You're going to do this several times before the runway. 150, 45, 36, 150, 46, 36, both sides. And verified. Flaps. I told you we'd come back to this. It's one of my funniest things here. Now, it's set, but you can actually set this flap from like 5 or 10 degrees to as high as 28. Right here, this is what's called dial-a-flap. You dial in that middle setting before you get your last two. Don't ask me why they did this, why it was needed. It's the weirdest aerodynamic thing if it was needed that badly, but that's what McDonnell Douglas did. So I affectionately love to say, just call 1-800-DIAL-A-FLAP and they'll tell you what to set it at. It's 1-800-DIAL-A-FLAP. But anyway, setting it for 15, and there they go. You can confirm right here, slats coming down and flaps. See them? Good. Good. I got it. I finally got it. Awesome, Matt. I hope you're up flying right now. After all that hard work, you better be putting in a good flight. How about the MD-11? Just kidding. Oh, I can feel the anger coming at me. Nerd with wings, what's going on? Well, your MD-11's what's going on. We're getting ready to taxi out here as soon as I get these last things done. Stave trim set checked. Auto brake to takeoff. If you noticed, we had on the config page that it was telling us to set it, saying it right here. Too much work. Exactly. Stave trim set, flight controls checked, exterior lights ready. We're ready to taxi. How about you all? I think after an hour and 25 minutes, we should be already airborne and almost there. How about that? Okay, everything's set. Now, aren't they the same folders? I don't know anything about that one. Oh, I just did that. Dang it. My old habits. Let's go for the runway. Type A traffic, EVA 5, heavy, taxi to 23 left for departure. Now, I thought those were the same folders. Now, that you may have to go to Flight Factor for. I don't know. All right, let's get our takeoff checks in and done. Weather radar coming on. All right, folks, give me a second here. One more click. We're on terrain. We're on weather. We're tilted down. I need it tilted up. Okay. Type A traffic, EVA 5 heavy, departing 23 left. All right, we're cleared for takeoff. Everything's set. Radar's on. And lining up. We'll do a normal cargo takeoff where we line up, stop, throttle up, and then go. Throttle up to stabilized, and then go. Been told that is the maximum performance on these planes. All right, you ready? Let's get the landing lights on. Oh, got one more step to do. Takeoff data checked, auto flight on. And spoilers, we need to arm. What you do, folks, is look for the hand. Talk to the hand to get it up. Here we go. .80 knots, airspeed verified. Little down force on the yoke. Rotate. Positive rate, gears up. MD-11 climb. Boy, that is so impressive to see, folks. See if it makes that turn.
Stabilizer motion.
This is where it's a little confusing, folks. I had to download my 767-300ER from X-Plane, and now Navigraph recognizes this. I just got to figure out how to update to 400 because it's an add-on. I'll figure it out. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was like the same files, but I you know, because the 57 is the same. But good luck to you, man. Good luck. Now, if anyone here has ever seen an MD-11 takeoff, or a KC-10 or DC-10, same airplane, just one's military, one's not. They are the most impressive takeoffs when they're not loaded down. When they're medium to light, it's like they just rocket straight up. They are so cool to watch. That is one of the few things about that airplane I love, was watching the departures. Beyond that, I'm just not a huge fan of this. Nor the L-1011. I'm not going to rule it out, but I don't remember how it looked on takeoffs. All right, we're through 10,000 and we're beginning to build speed. Okay, off we go, folks. And, oh yeah, we got one more thing down here to look at. Off. All right, we're on our way, folks. Straight. Oh, no, it's not. We'll see how that works out. Okay, we're headed up to Ogden and then down to TINHO, and then on we go. Again, this will probably serve as the last stream of the week. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday is granddaughter days. We have a house full. And it'll be challenging, but we're up to the challenge. So I hope y'all enjoy. Hope the MD-11 here intrigues you enough to think about it. It's not a hard plane. A lot of people have asked me, how do I make it so easy? I think of it as an Airbus. To me, that made it as simple as apple pie, and I hate apple pie. That's why the MD-11 and that go hand in hand. No, it is simple, folks, when you look at it that way, for me at least. Maybe not for you. I get it. Everyone is different. So, but that's how I did it. And when I looked at it and started going through procedures on the tutorial, it like gelled. It's an Airbus. Think Airbus, think Airbus, think Airbus. And many of it came right together. I know, much to the chagrin of you Boeing heads, it's not a Boeing. It is McDonnell Douglas. Still shake my head at why McDonnell Douglas did some of the things with this plane it did. Maybe the MD-80 as well. But, yeah, it's definitely interesting. All right, time for the turn. There it goes. Aha! Why does it wait for the fix? That's an interesting thing. All right, well, we're already standard, so we don't have to worry about that. Oh, excuse me, folks, got the hiccups again. All right, folks, we are through 25,000 on to Our final destination altitude of 36,000, and then we're headed to Clark Air Base in the Philippines. Today called Clark, oddly enough, Clark International. You know what? I am going to try something here. F-plan, direct. What are we wanting to go direct to? TINHO? There we go. All right. All right, perf page, 23 miles, top of climb, and then we'll begin our... Now, TSI, if I'm not mistaken, is the other major airport here. I'm gonna look into that. Boy, it really goes wide. Oh, jeez. Show you what I'm looking at here. Bring in charts. Here's the... It should be on this track to TINHO, but it actually went way wide. It was actually going to loop back into here. I really could use a crash course on how this FMC, the little intricacies of how to make it turn prior to fixes. That's annoying in this plane. That it's constantly needing to be put direct. We'll go here. And radar set up one. Actually, I think I'm gonna radar now down one. Maybe if I can get down to it. Click, click. One more. Down one, maybe two. Yeah, we'll leave it at one. Hopefully rotate, hopefully flight factor come together quick and are ready when that whatever update comes out, 1.x as it's called right now, for the weather radars. That is looking so spectacular, but I don't know if that technology came to the MD-11s or if they're in them now or what. There have been a lot of modifications, compliments of the cargo companies, because they're the ones that gobbled them up when the airline said, we hate these planes. Seems like I'm not the only one. And the cargo companies basically got them at a fire sale. There it goes. I was going to see if the airplane caught it. There it goes. All right, folks, we are in cruise and trying to see what our point is. All right, I will be right back. Need to use the restroom. All right, folks, we're back with you. Sorry about that. We're in the final preps for the granddaughters, and a couple things needed to be tended to. The only other thing is I may have to close my window. Actually, I have another window to close. Hang on, I just remembered it. Trying to figure out why it's so breezy in here. Oh, forgot all about that window. So, we're on our way, folks. Let's see how far we have to go. About an hour. Oh. So, y'all ready for the weekend? I hope so, because guess what? It's Friday Eve. Hope you're ready. All right, let's take a look around us here. Wow. Now that's a long haul. London to Manila. Wow. Now that puts the capital L in that. All right, well, we're coming up to Wagon. We got about an hour-ish to go, and we're doing pretty good here, folks. It's been a great, we had a great stream this afternoon. We're hoping for one tonight. Things are looking up. I really, like I said, did not want to shut it down. But in the interest and being fair to people out here, I went ahead and, shut it down. And it allowed me, like I said, to do a couple system things that needed to be done and the restart. So hopefully, so far, so good. Things are moving better. Let's put it that way. Okay, so we got a wind right down the runway right now. Ooh, broken at 1900. Oh, we just went IFR. All right. Oh, great. Oh, that's going to turn this into a fun approach. Oh, we'll have fun with it. I had a bad feeling about it. Now the temperature is still 2 degrees. Dang it, 2 degrees up, so we could get even visibility issues. All right, well, we'll have fun with it. I'm looking at some other Discord channels. I wonder if this is actually true. If you were to put DFW Airport in Manhattan, that's a lot of Manhattan taken out. Interest. Took me a little bit to figure out the meme, but wow. I mean, that's every bit of south of Central Park, I believe. Wow. Anyway, some things you wonder, true or false, don't know. Just like the trucking world, don't know, don't want to know. So, I'm just catching up here on other channels. I'm kind of intrigued with this Tollus A330-900. A whole lot of stuff, it looks like, in this HUD display that I have no idea whatsoever. Runway overrun warning protection system. Huh. Or maybe that's just added stuff coming with it. Wow, there's a lot with it, folks. And again, as we made mention, comes out the day of across the pond. All right, so we are now 55 or so minutes out of Clark Air Base, now known, like I've said, Clark International. Kind of interesting they kept the name of the airfield with all that happened at Subic Bay and all. Amazing to me, and that's awesome that they kept the name. Even though it's not an air base anymore for the Air Force, it's still Clark. So, a lot of stuff went through that place, especially in the 60s, 70s time frame with Vietnam. And later, there was a lot of stuff that happened out of there. So, wow. And we still have, I think UPS is hubbed in there, or some kind of setup at Clark, besides their Hong Kong connections. And it's at Shenzhen or something like that, name of the airport, not the main international. FedEx is also not mainly hubbed there. They're up at Guangzhou. So just so busy. So you look for the other airports that are less busy, which become just as busy and make it wide we move. So, interesting times. And the other interesting fact I love bringing up about the Far East is the amount of heavy aircraft that fly out here. Yes, they now are starting to get a lot of 737s and Airbuses, but the amount of heavy aircraft flying from like Hong Kong to Shanghai, Hong Kong to the Philippines, within that kind of a radius is unbelievable. Then Shanghai to Incheon and Japan, it's just unreal. And I'm not just talking like there may be heavies like the 757. I'm talking 767, A330, A340s, 747s, 777s. It's just unreal the amount of people and the amount of people always on the move. Unreal, folks. Now, you get into Japan, yeah, they have a lot of 737 and Airbus routes, but you will not be surprised if you see an A350 on one, or two, or three. It's just that many people want to get somewhere. That's where the 747-400 domestic model just lived and breathed. 500 people, folks, crammed in that tube. And they might only go from Narita to Chitose, Narita to Kansai, or to Osaka. It's unreal. It still is. And let alone the cargo traffic, which we all know over here in the States. So if you want to fly for airlines and you want to fly your 777 and yet you don't have the time in whatever airline you're at right now, might want to look at one of the virtual airlines over here. Cathay Pacific is the biggest one that comes to mind. For the longest time, and they may still, I don't know how Dragon Air plays in with them. That's all they had were heavies. 330s, 777s, A340s, 747s. That was their fleet. Now they have A350s. But they also had their sister company, Dragon Air, 74, A330, and some A320s. Sure, more I don't know how they work together. But if you're looking for a virtual airline where you might want to look at a Cathay, better chance you're going to only fly heavy there. Unless they've dreamed up a tiering system to the heavies. There are some people that will do that. So just it's unbelievable. When I first started in, that's what I wanted to fly, was mostly heavy, and I built my time up and found a couple airlines that tied into Cathay, and holy mackerel, that was unbelievable. Or find some cargo companies. So anyway, I won't bore you anymore. Let me kick a little bit of music on for the few more minutes we have. Let y'all wind down from your days, as mine are about to wind up for this weekend.
Target right 315-890 will descend to 4,000 feet and will report when established on the island 06 Manila. Traffic advisory RPC 83 just past Kamiling, proceeding San Fabian, corrections, proceeding San Carlos, flying 1,500 feet. 7,000 feet hold for 4,000 feet inbound ILS runway 06 approach.
All right, folks, we're about 70 miles from Lao, VOR. Then it's pretty much a direct run to CIA. Clark. And we got to be at MALIB at 10,000 or above. I'd like to be at 10,000, at 5,000 at Shermo to do these approaches.
Advisory RPC-32, just past San Carlos, 1,500 feet. We'll be flying overhead the station to check the runway in use. Inbound again. Traffic advisor RPC-32 revised will be flying straight ahead of south of approximately 5 nautical miles south of Ingayan. 2846 over 13, inbound ILS runway 06, 4000 for 2000, QNH 1010, will report when established.
I kind of stay quiet, folks, when people are chit-chatting on the radio too much, so as to not say something wrong. So that's why you may not hear a lot. I let the music just hopefully drown them out. I wish it would over the air, but you gotta push the talk switch. Not doing that. Got enough problems with other things out here than, you know, to do that.
Indian traffic advisory, RPC 83 to approximately 3 nautical miles south of the station with 1,500 feet will be descending to 1,200 feet to fly over the station to check the runway in use.
By the way, folks, he just said that. Alright, well, we're coming up to LAO, which is, I believe, gonna be our descent point. Let me double check my chart. I'm pretty sure. Make sure I did the addition right. No, I did not. Milan will be our descent point. Actually, about just off of Milan, we'll start down.
Indian traffic advisor RPC 83 to approaching overhead the station will be joining the left downwind of runway 08 for one full stop and no touch and go before proceeding to San Fernando. Millennium traffic airfield 2846 established ILS runway 06, 8 miles maintaining 140 Manila traffic.
Traffic Delta. North traffic Delta 9505, turning the final 24 miles out, runway 24.
Indian traffic advisory RPC 832, turning left downwind of runway 08 for full stop. Indian Traffic Advisor RPC 832, turning base runway 08 for full stop.
Airline traffic airfield 2846, short final runway 06.
RPC 832, turning final runway 08 for full stop.
Yeah, that's about right. There's our top of descent right there, folks. That's gonna be about right. Alright, so hope you all have enjoyed listening to all the banter out here. It's just a little way too much. Many of my flight instructors would be just going berserk right now. But that's okay. Oh, but you all enjoy talking, because tie up the channel, I'm still coming in. All right, so SANRO, we should be well into our descent. So 25, okay. All right, let's do our descent checks. EAD is good. Windshield and anti-ice on, descent limit. And we're ready for descent in about 35 miles. We might cut it a little quicker than that, but that way we make our above 10,000 and above 5,000 marks before executing the approach.
Indian Traffic Advisor RPC 832, vacated the runway via the cab ramp. We'll advise when ready for departure.
All right, we're about to start our descent. 10,000 is our first number, MALIB, and then we have 13, 21-ish miles to Sirmo, and then we turn inbound for Clark, do the procedure back in, and land. So I hope you all enjoy. It's been a great flight. And hopefully things will go pretty smooth from here on in. Milan is like a couple miles out.
Manual traffic, Airfield 284 extended, vacated at Romeo 3. Now taxiing to Golf Juliet, Golf 3 Kilo.
North traffic, 3 miles out, runway 24 landing.
Okay, how far is that? 31. I think at about 20 miles, I'll go ahead and start our descent. We'll kind of monitor it. I'd like to keep it ballparkish, 2,300 feet a minute, but we'll kind of watch, make sure we hit. If you look over here on this display, we're set up at 80 miles. You can kind of see the mayhem coming. I do mean that, folks. Yeah, we'll figure it out how to get the FMC to do what we need it to do.
Indian traffic advisory, RPC 832. Cessna 152 VFR now at Capra, holding point runway 08. Any incoming traffic on final runway 08, please acknowledge.
All right, and
505, clear runway 24.
let's do it.
Indian traffic advisory, RPC 832, negative final runway 08. We'll take off runway 08 for touch and go.
Oh boy.
Touch and go, local traffic pattern.
All right. Let's see how this is gonna play out. Right at MALIB. Okay, cool. Well, let's take a look here again. Yeah, because it got really okay. Yeah, we'll fly it out and turn us back inbound.
RPC 833,
Hopefully we'll
Indian traffic
grab the
advisory,
ILS.
832 airborne runway 08 for touch and go.
All right, so MALIB is right there. We're how far from MALIB? 60 something miles. 65. Well, right now 69, but yeah, plenty of room to come down. Let's set auto brakes to medium. Actually, let's see what SimBrief says about that.
Indian traffic advisory RPC 832 turning crosswind runway 08 for touch and go.
Okay, descent checks. EAD landing data. Oh, yeah, let's get our landing data in. Good call. All right, so we're going in flaps 35. 154 is our approach, 149 on our approach chart. Let's see here. 154. Wow, that's almost 900 feet a minute. Is that right? You know, I really hate to turn these people down, but I'm about to turn them down. But, you know what? I'm also just going to ignore them.
Indian traffic advisory RPC 832 turning base runway 08 for touch and go. Indian traffic advisory RPC 832 turning final runway 08 for touch and go.
All right, folks, we are going to go into a sterile cockpit now. Okay, this cough. Approach data, as you can see, 154, 149. So flaps 35. Another check of the weather. I hope to gosh it's not worse. a little better. Still low on the clouds, but we're a little better. 3606, 8,000, broken at 1,800, 29 degrees, so not bad. I'm going to go ahead and set this one. Okay, and this one. I can't remember if I've got to set the other side. Nope. Okay. Minimums. Minimums are 255.
Engage traffic advisory RPC 832, turning crosswind runway 08 for touch and go.
Okay, and we're I'm gonna go ahead and steepen the descent.
Indian traffic advisory RPC 832, turning left downwind runway 08 for touch and go.
Okay, we got a lot of altitude to lose kind of quick here. We need to come over the VOR at 5,000, make our turn out to distance 9, and be at 3,000. So let's go ahead, get this bird slowing. Time to turn the lights back on. Okay. I need to decrease.
RPC 80, Indian traffic advisory RPC 832, turning base runway 08 for touch and go. Indian traffic advisory RPC 832, turning final runway 08 for touch and go.
Okay, folks, we're about to turn for Shermo, and we're going for Okay.
Mal traffic advisory Aviation 33, Terminal 3 Bay 107, reciprocal start facing south, runway 06.
Okay, I think we're kind of in the groove now. We're starting to make it happen. The fun part's yet to come. We'll kind of probably fly it off the autopilot. When we go inbound, I'm going to slow to 220 and potentially put the slats out. Okay, again, Shermo is at or above 5,000. 6,000 is what the chart says over the VOR. Sorry about that. So we'll be turning inbound here. Let's go ahead and begin our slowdown.
Airborne runway 08, straight up departure, proceeding San Fabian destination, San Fernando.
It's actually pretty cloudy here. Okay, 220 coming up on 6,000. Yeah, I don't know why it says radar altimeter or a terrain doesn't show it. Well, wait a minute. If I remembered right. No, it didn't. Never mind. Okay, there's 6,000. I'm going to go ahead now and slow to 200, put the slats out, arm the spoilers, and seatbelts DH set. We're good. Some people actually think they own the channel.
Destination San Fernando.
Clark traffic, EVA 5 heavy over Clark VOR outbound for the ILS 2. The heading 180. Okay, we're set up to where I can take over the heading when need be. Three miles. I got a feeling we selected the wrong one because it says 180. I think that's 192. Yep. So we will have to do our thing. Setting 3,000. $180. Okay, going out distance 9. Of course, we lost it. $109,323. Got it.
Traffic area 3, taxiing to runway 06 when November, holding for Charlie 5 runway 31. Yan lang.
Stabilizer motion. Altitude.
Okay, we're 7. We'll get out to about 9. Maximum is 210 in this turn.
Stabilizer motion.
Traffic reconciliation 3 at holding point Charlie 3 runway 31, watch out for traffic. Holding.
Stabilizer motion.
Traffic reconciliation 33% runway 35 by holding short Charlie 3. Continue and taxi Charlie Hotel to runway 06.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, I know I went out a little further than I wanted, about 6 miles, but I think that's going to really help us in this turn. Put us right close to the CF2 mark, especially at the speed we're at. There's that
Manila
one
Traffic Simulator
airport.
1 taxiing November Golf 14, left Delta, right Charlie, Hotel 2 to hold short 2806. You will cross 231.
Traffic advisory RPC 8832, just past San Fabian, 1,500 feet. Correction. Traffic advisory RPC 8832 departed Lingayen over San Fabian, 1,500 feet, proceeding the Mortis, destination San Fernando. Any traffic en route, please be advised.
Clark Air Base, EVA 5, final, runway 2. All right, let's set up 160, go 15, 28 on flaps.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, we're on the localizer. Looking for a runway, folks. Waiting on the glide slope, and then we'll lower the landing gear. All right, folks, welcome in. We're coming into Clark, and hopefully we'll be on the ground here in about 5 minutes.
Manila Traffic Advisory lining up runway 06 by holding short Hotel 2, Manila.
Okay, here comes the glide slope. We are approximately 8 miles out, gear down. Runway in sight, although I think we might lose it,
2,500.
according to that METAR. It looks like we're gonna keep it. Nope, there it goes. There it goes.
Manila Traffic Advisory Facility 3, taking off runway 06 by Pampanga at departure, climbing 3980, Airport Airport, Manila.
Okay, I got the plane.
1,000. Autopilot. Autopilot.
Clark Air Base, EVA 5, 1 mile final 2.
Traffic advisory RPC 832 just past the Mortis proceeding Aringay, flying 1,500 feet.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Have they updated this airport? Holy mackerel, they have. That wasn't here last time, folks. Holy mackerel. All right, folks, we're at Clark. Welcome in. And Clark Air Base traffic. EVA 5 Heavy off 2. Y'all have a great time on your channel.
Hey, sir.
All right, let's get this over to the cargo area and call it a day, because they are very frustrating listening to them on the radio. I think it's a football game. Okay, after landing checks. Now that I've finally gotten to a point where I can actually do something. Aggravating that I can't get those lights to manipulate there. Fox 3, no. But that won't help us. Fox 5 will. All right, and oh, now we have terrain. Oh, that cracks me up, folks. Sorry. I know many people don't see the humor I see. Weather radar off. Okay, here comes Fox 5. Now that'll get us up there. Then we'll, we want to, oh, that, what, terminal? We'll hang a left over to the main ramp, and that's where we'll shut her down.
Traffic advisory RPC 83, just past Haringay, proceeding east of Bawang, flying 1,500 feet.
Yeah, this airport's changed since the last time. Was it X-Plane 11 I was in here? Or was it X-Plane 12? Anyway, it has changed, folks. And wow, is all I can say. After takeoff, we need to put the, or after landing, slats are up, auto brake off, stave trim to 3. After that, exterior lights, anti-ice, we need to get the EPU firing up too. Okay. And folks, that's gonna wrap us up here when we get up here. Got a couple of little side ramps here. We're going for the main ramp. Like I said, we'll get up to Delta, I believe it is. Well, no, we don't have these side ramps. They're X'd off. But anyway, up here at Delta, we'll turn left. Looks like another set of terminals. I think that might have been an addition to for charters back in the day. Now they actually have a full-blown setup. Wow, that looks like a volcano over there. But hello, Clark Air Base, now Clark International. Let me make sure those spoilers went down. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so that is called the J ramp. Why? I have no idea. I think we'll take this one. Don't ask me rhyme or reason why I chose this one. I just did.
RCTP now east of Baruang, 1,500 feet. Will descend to 1,200.
All right, brakes are set. Again, after landing, tail fuel's fine. Fuel switches, not yet. Let's make sure one were available. Bleeds on. And transponder. Okay. So fuel, transponder, seatbelts. Okay, so we did a little out of order. Okay, there we go.
Traffic advisory please overheat but landing outside.
All right, we don't actually have to listen to them anymore. We're actually on the ground here. There we go. Just spooling them down. Transponder, exponder, IRS. Oop, one too high. Turn those guys off. And status, make sure we're good there. All right, folks, welcome to Clark. We're going to quickly get this talked about. And there it is, folks. The aircraft that brought us here, the MD-11. I hope y'all enjoyed. We're going to go ahead and come off VATSIM and do something here real quick so we're ready for the next flight. All right, and out we go. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned a little on it. You can treat this as a tutorial if you want, folks. That wasn't my intention. Unfortunately, that's what it became. For the flight, 423 feet a minute? Really? Felt so soft. Ah. Oh well, that's what the airline has us at here. Man, and pending, okay. Wow. That cracks me up. All right, well, it's over there pending and being looked at. All right, folks, let me pull the overlay down. Bring in Sim Toolkit. What'd they get us at 1,000? 288. Usually they're the brutal ones, not the airline. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. So here we are. We flew out of Taiwan, right down the Strait of Bashi into Clark Air Base, doing the little European, I'd like call it a jug handle, but you just kind of come over the point, go out, turn around, come back. Pretty easy. Or as some of the truckers I knew used to say, easy peasy. All right, hour and 56 minutes in the air, 600 miles, 13,550 kilograms of fuel, 1.2 G's on the landing, 288. So let's see where it did. It looked like we were a little bit of a floater. Not bad, actually. 2,000 feet down, 18 feet right. Folks, that's actually not bad. Everything else looks good. I don't know why the airline got us so tough like that. But, that's how it happens sometimes, folks. Number-wise, looks good. So let's go ahead, wrap this one up. Folks, like I said, this is the last flight most likely for the week. And I am really not hopeful of any free time to catch any streams. May get some practice flights in on some upcoming flights we have, but beyond that, that's about all there's going to be this week. I want to thank you all very much. I hope you all have a great weekend, especially those of you who embark on Cross the Pond Saturday. At least you're going the easy way. Wait till April, you'll understand that comment when the winds turn and now they're at your nose. So for now, folks, you all have a great night. And this will be up sometime tomorrow or Saturday. And I really hope you have a great day. We will see you next week. I'm hoping Monday, but it may be Tuesday. But we'll have the schedule out here shortly, probably within the next day or two. YouTubers, keep an eyeball on the community channel. I am starting to use it a little bit. I haven't used it in a while. We're going to make sure you all know where the flight schedule is. So that community tab will begin to be used a little bit more. And you're welcome to the Discord channel. Welcome in. The flight schedule's there. You can join us live or wait till we post it. So for now, folks, have a great weekend. Thank you again for those that joined us tonight. Matt, 1997 Air. I saw Nerd with Wings out there. Hope you all enjoyed the MD-11. And we'll see you on the next flight. God bless. See you then.